It's Two on the Aisle with me, Charles Gross, and Leslie Hoban Blake. Tonight, reviews of My Fair Lady, Summer, the Donna Summer musical, Mlima's Tale, and Light Shining in Buckinghamshire. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Two on the Aisle.
I'm a weary at this point. We're almost done. We're almost done.
Yeah.
We vote on the 30th for the drama desk, and the Tonys come right after that. And
Yep.
I want to take a little rest. I really
You know
do.
what?
I know.
It's just kind of too much of a good thing. I know that's hard for anyone to
Well,
understand.
but be careful what you wish for.
No,
You know?
well, I'm very happy. This was a wish, and I'm glad it was
Oh,
granted.
yeah, well,
now this is a wish.
Now, this is a wish.
This
and
is a wish. Oh,
this
she's
is,
got a bigger one.
Well, I'm not even going to discuss that. This, Be Still My Heart, because this is the musical of the season for me. I thought it was going to be Carousel. I really did, because the music in Carousel has always touched my heart in a way that this never did. But this Carousel was so flat and so dark that I just didn't, it didn't grab me. From the minute the overture started in My Fair Lady, and
Remember
in the size
overtures
of
and
the
how
set,
wonderful
yes,
they are?
and the size of the set in the theater at
Lincoln
Lincoln
Center,
Center,
yes.
just amazing, 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 and the surprises. Because now, do we need to tell what the story of My Fair Lady
Yes.
is? It's Pygmalion. It's this guy finds this guy Henry Higgins finds
Henry
this.
Higgins is a professor of phonetics, and he bets that he can teach a Cockney girl to speak like a lady.
He can even pass her off as a princess. He
Yes.
makes the bet. Okay, and that's the story. And then whether does he do it, does he not do it, what happens? It's not a romance. It was not meant to be a romance. It's been played that way, but it wasn't written as a romance. And truly, George Bernard Shaw, whom we talked about in a recent evening about his St. Joan, George Bernard Shaw was an early feminist. He totally believed in the equality of the sexes. His marriage
Absolutely.
was based on the equality of the sexes. And
He never bothered to consummate it.
yes, that's the whole point. Yes, but anyway, so
That's not equal.
no,
That's,
that's I know he was a vegetarian. But anyway, it was
I didn't realize one came with
yes.
the other.
Well, you know, and Hitler too, but Hitler was a vegetarian.
You're not promoting vegetarians
No, I'm
very
not.
well.
My kids are all vegetarians. So is my sister. Anyway,
I mean,
but
you
let's
finally
get back to
convinced
this.
me not to marry Pamela
Right,
Anderson. She's
okay,
a vegetarian.
Okay, we have two of the best surprise performances of the season in this show, and they belong to Harry. I'm going to get this right if it kills me. Harry Haddon Payton. I did it.
On the first try.
From Downton Abbey, in the role of Henry Higgins, a young Henry Higgins, not unlike Leslie Howard in the movie, which I saw.
You're not My Fair Lady.
No, but I saw Bart Sher talking about this, and he said we went back to the movie. That's what we went to, and that's where we got the image
My
from.
Fair Lady is really more based on the movie of Pygmalion than the play.
Yes.
That's
yes.
where the ending comes from, which is very different from the play. That's where the whole ball, the character of Zoltan Karpathy, appears for the
in the movie.
In the movie.
The 1938 movie we're talking
And
about.
it is an amazingly beautiful, kinetic movie. In fact, probably shot better than the movie version of My Fair Lady.
Perhaps. But this, by the way, and so they did the play in a cinematic way. The play has a very
this
cinematic
is actually more
feel.
cinematic than the movie with Rex Harrison and Audrey Hepburn. The other actress, Lauren Ambrose,
whom I adored. We've seen her in the park.
She's actually an older Eliza, although she's still very youthful.
Under six. When you see her on stage, she looks 25. She looks a little older when you see her on TV, but
yes.
She anyway. She was the sister in 6 Feet Under, and we've seen her in other in public theater presentations and whatnot. And she has this voice.
Yes, I think I've seen every production of My Fair Lady since starting with the 1975. If I could go back in time and see one play, it would be My Fair Lady with Rex Harrison and Julie Andrews. But I think she has the best singing voice of any actress since Julie Andrews herself.
Now, mind you, take a look at the colors on this magazine because this is the color palette of the play. They in the movie, the Ascot Gavotte was black and white, Cecil Beaton costumes. There's a lot of gray, there's a lot of lavender, all of which pops. It's not dull, but and I love it. It's got a painterly feel, but it moves. And then the best surprise, by the way, here's Eliza Doolittle. Are you ready? Mrs. Campbell, the love of George Bernard Shaw's life.
Yes,
the original love of George Bernard Shaw's life. This is Mrs. Campbell.
Patrick Campbell, who
Yes.
was the original Eliza. She
Yes.
was actually, I think, about 10 years older than Laura, or even more than Lauren D'Ambrose was.
Here he is
But
himself.
Here you have, again, but talking about this production,
Yes.
it is so beautifully directed. And just wonderfully done. There are a couple of nitpicks I would have. Is that Peyton does try to sing the Higgins songs rather than talk through them.
Absolutely, and I think
And
it's brilliant.
no,
I think
no.
it's well. You don't like it, I did.
I think it works, with the exception of I've grown accustomed to her face. I think it actually works better.
The music
when
was
you
written
talk
to
them.
be sung. It was spoken because Rex Harrison couldn't sing it.
But you know what? It works
no,
better
so
that
in your
way.
head, that's the way. No, it doesn't.
I
It doesn't.
disagree.
I
And
love
in fact,
hearing
I
him
saw an
sing.
interview with Peyton. He actually said, "I think it may work better if you talk it." So
Well,
go
I
figure,
liked-
go
yeah,
figure why
but
he's
he's
singing.
wrong, because-
Norbert Leo Butz, who I thought would be so amazing, was in the second act. Not disappointing in the first act. I think he may have had an off night because I know he flubbed one of his lines.
Oh.
And I would complain. I would normally take points off for this. In this case, I won't. But several of the numbers were missing verses. With a little bit of luck.
It
and a
got
few of
us
the
out in
others.
2 hours and
You know
and a
what?
half, nonetheless.
I would have been happy to stay and see. But I will tell you, this is the best musical ever written, as far as I'm concerned.
And the
And
staging
it has
of this,
been gone for so long.
the staging of this was so wonderful. That's a very intimate theater, even though the stage itself
Well,
is big.
it's the
seating
Vivian
area.
Beaumont.
Yeah, but the seating area is intimate, and for the first time, Cher uses a revolve. He hasn't
Right.
used that before, and so. It starts out in London in Covent Garden where he finds her,
Right.
and then the set is cleared, and suddenly from behind, very slowly, emerges the drawing room. And he said on this program, I didn't want to do something set in a drawing room, so he has the play move. As the revolve goes around, you see the whole apartment, the whole house rather,
house.
and they go through the whole house to do the scenes. So
Yes.
they're not done all in
No,
that.
it is
It's
beautifully, it's a
beautifully
beautifully
done.
kinetic.
Really.
Just as the film Pygmalion was
Right.
shot.
Right.
And as I said before, again, more cinematic than the actual movie, and it's brilliant. I mean, he's done such a wonderful job with revivals and freshening, but here,
I didn't care for The
It's-
King and I thought he made it too stuffy. But this, I think he
well,
captured
except
it
for the
exact-
King, I like the King and I, but that's
Oh, I
another-
kept
that's-
waiting for the King to die. I kept saying, "Oh, is he ever going to die?" But
Okay,
anyway,
but
that's another
let's-
story.
let's talk about
this.
this.
Is now there are
I
a couple of
I think this is his best work as
there are
a
a couple of
director.
extra things. Oh, I like South Pacific too. There are a couple of extra things here. There's Diana Rigg as Mrs. Higgins.
Who's wonderful
I don't know why she's nominated in a musical. She doesn't sing at all.
because she's Diana
Alan
Rigg.
Cordiner, who's from the Topsy Turvy, Gilbert and Sullivan, and some other things, wonderful, wonderful actor, and a new, very handsome face with a beautiful voice. Jordan Donica played
who
Freddie
was
Freddie
Alan?
Hinesford Hill.
Fine, but Alan was Pickering.
Alan was Pickering. Yes, I'm sorry. Alan Cordiner was Pickering, and so the newcomer is Donica. I did not know him. I've seen all the others do something. Just brilliantly done. So beautiful.
It's a first class production of, again, what I think is the best Broadway musical ever written.
Okay.
And so I come in with very high expectations. For the most part, they were met. I could nitpick a little, but I am going to
already
give
have.
this yes, I'm going to give this 5 playbills.
I'm going to give it 5
And
playbills also.
and I will be buying the cast album when it comes out.
Okay. Well, one of us can. No, never mind. I'm not going to say that. Never mind. So what you got there, babe?
Summer. And guess what it's about?
Is it followed by winter, fall, and spring?
Well, maybe there'll be a show winter, spring, summer, and fall. Oh no, well they did that, didn't
It
they?
made me
that
long
Was,
for
that was beautiful, and that made me long for beautiful.
No,
because
it made
you
me
have-
long for anything. SpongeBob, Frozen,
you have
anything.
3 actresses.
No,
Sean-
please don't denigrate Beautiful by putting it in the same thing as this. Beautiful was a good show.
Beautiful is a good show.
Yeah, this is.
They're going to have Supergirl playing the lead role, but that's another. LaShans, Ariana
I love.
DeBose, Storm Lever, and they play 3 different versions of Donna. It's Donna Summer. So you have Diva Donna, Disco Donna, and Duckling Donna. And sometimes we get 3 Donnas for the price of 1. But they also should have had Hillary Donna, because half the time they're in pantsuits. Now, I have to say I never went to see a Donna Summer concert, but did she kind of wear the glitzy dresses?
Well, she was wearing glitzy pantsuits too, but yes, she did.
But most of them are pretty.
But
most of them she could have borrowed from Hillary.
They gave most of the glitzy outfits to the middle one, Ariana. They gave that to her.
Yeah. Well, and here's the interesting thing is she comes out in the beginning of the play and says, disco's all about dancing. Well, aside from Ariana DeBose, who busts a move occasionally and does it very nicely, there isn't a heck of a lot dancing. So this is a musical about one of the biggest disco stars.
One of the other things
and there's no dancing.
No, but one of the other things that happens is that the entire entourage is made up is mixed of men and women, all of whom play men. That you have these lovely little girls dressing up as men all the time in the numbers. I don't understand why. I don't know if it was a concern monetarily, not to have to pay more people to come in, or but they were so obviously girls dressed up as boys for no reason. It's not a convention of anything to do with disco. I mean, I know there's gender fluidity.
Yes,
I know there's gender fluidity. I mean, that's how you could rationalize it, but I think it's just doing it on the cheap. Well,
that could be, and also the story. They Donna learning to drive, which actually was a very nice scene, is given the same weight as Donna taking over the whole record industry. So this musical's all over the place. The numbers, despite you got some really good actresses here.
Yeah, it's
don't flash, and they don't even bother with a disco ball until the end.
Well, not only that, but then they drop little silver circles all over you. I went home. They were inside my blouse. They were in my bag. I came in and I said something to the man at the desk, and when I did this with my arm, they fell out of my sleeve. It was hysterical. I still found them yesterday when I went out with my kids. It's weeks later.
Yeah. So if you are a hardcore Donna Summer fan, you might
listen to your album.
Yeah, well, that's true. You may enjoy this. I mean, I've been to jukebox musicals where I wasn't necessarily a fan of the, but I came out enjoying it.
Do you realize we didn't say this? This is Des McAnuff. This is Des McAnuff who gave us Tommy. And others, but he gave us Tommy, for God's sakes, and Sergio Trujillo, who gave us all kinds of dance stuff as the choreographer. It's such a disappointment.
The show has a choreographer?
Sergio Trujillo is the what?
I'm teasing.
Did it have a choreographer?
Really? I hadn't noticed.
So anyway, I just a disappointment, and it's interesting they've got all three of them as one on the front.
See better dancing in escaping to Margaritaville.
Yes, you're right. There was a lot more of it too.
So bottom line,
2.
Hot Stuff. It's not.
Hot Stuff. It's not very good.
No,
I'd give it a 2.
I'd go a little further, 2.5.
I'm not even going to give each one of them 1 and make it 3. I'm going to give it a 2.
Well, they're all very
I know
good.
they're working their hearts out. And I love LaShawn. She was the original young girl in Once on This Island. I've been waiting for her to have a play. Yeah. I thought, this is so brilliant.
Color Purple.
And Color Purple. But I said to myself, this is her big comeback, right? This is the one, and it's not. Not. So what do you have next?
Well, actually, it's you.
Oh, it's me. Sorry, it's Mlima's. Let me take it. The Trail of Greed. It says on the back of this card, but I don't have the playbill with me. So Mlima's Tale is written by Lynn Nottage, the Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright, and this is
For Sweat.
Pardon me.
For Sweat.
For Sweat. Oh yes.
Which we both loved.
Which we did. And the thing is, Lynn is a very serious writer, and her topic here is extremely serious. And if I could find what I wrote, I would be in good shape. Here we go. Okay, no, I've got it. Okay. I've got it. So anyway, it's a very short play. It's only 80 minutes long. It has only 4 actors in it, and unfortunately, it has only one theme, and the theme is the life and death of this poor creature, who is poached and left to rot in the reserve. It's in the preserve. I mean, he's not just lying somewhere on a road. In the preserve where they're supposed to protect him, the oldest living elephant is butchered. His tusks are taken. They're the largest tusks because people want ivory artifacts, or they want the tusks themselves.
And understand, this is happening, this play takes place today.
Yes.
This is not, it was 20 years ago. No.
And Mr. Trump took away the restrictions on this because his kids are hunters. They killed that lovely lion that they shouldn't have touched, and so they're hunters. So he wants to make sure that they're still allowed to hunt.
Well, did his kids kill the lion, or was that some? I think there was somebody.
No, the dentist. The dentist killed that particular lion. But there are pictures of them with guns and lions, dead lions. So anyway, the point is that the restrictions have been lifted. And so to try to run a preserve is a battle. It's a losing battle. And what you see in this is one actor whose name I'm afraid I'm going to butcher. I'm so worried about this. It's a lovely actor whom we saw do Fela, or at least I saw do Fela, in Fela Kuti on Broadway. And his name is Saab, I can't do this. Sar Ngaujah. I'm not even going to take it. I'm not even going to try. That's a ning sound there. Okay. And he plays the spirit of the dead elephant. He's
also he plays the live elephant.
Yes, but then he's killed. And
it's kind of like Robin Williams playing the tiger.
Yes, exactly. But in this case, he takes on the persona. The spirit of the elephant is a magnificent creature, and he is a magnificent creature. He does things with his body, and he paints himself white, and the white comes off. So anyone who's involved in the selling of this, he touches somewhere on there or even on a face. So everybody has a white mark. And what happens is by the end of the play,
the stain of shame.
The stain of shame. No one is without the stain.
Right.
And this is a cast of 4. The one plays the elephant. The other three, Kevin Mambo, who also played Fela, he alternated in the role and took it over. It's very interesting. That doesn't happen very often. Is in the play, and then there are 2 other characters, a male and a female, and again,
and they cover all the roles,
gender fluidity,
including the law enforcement who are corrupt, including the
buyers,
and the sculptors who are willing to too easily believe that it's totally legal and I have the papers, etc. And they're okay because I won't. They say, I won't take an illegal.
Right.
But
you found him dead on the road. Right.
Here's this problem with the play. It's very straightforward. There's an incredible lack of drama in this play. It's straightforward. The tusks go here. The tusks go there. Maybe you'll think, maybe now they'll be caught. No, a couple of bribes fixes it up, and this is the type that has a very low entertainment value, unlike Sweat. But it's one of the few times I've ever seen a play where you're meant to talk about it. And I actually do find myself
discussing. And I talked about it afterwards, right away.
I was saying maybe we moved too quickly to ban elephants in circuses, and zoos who are keeping elephants but not replacing them.
There's no life for an elephant in a circus. It's not a life to be put on a train and taken from here to there.
Well, yes,
that's
but
not
at least you're alive.
Yeah, well, there's life and there's life.
Certainly,
they're meant to be kept in the wild. That's what they're meant to be.
But
zoos is a different story.
At least they're safe.
I want to name 2 things.
On
Ito,
that. And so
Agayer,
it does work on that level. But as a drama, it is severely lacking.
Okay, but what is interesting, what I found myself doing was watching the actors do all the different parts. That I made the drama for myself in that. And Ito,
it's a good ensemble.
Agayer, who's a female, and Justin Hicks, who is not, play all the rest of the roles. And she plays males and females, so there's gender fluidity in that. It's directed by Joe Bonney. We've seen a lot of Joe Bonney's work. This is not the first play we've seen by Joe this year. So it's got a lot going for it. It doesn't have enough going for it.
Yes.
It's script-wise, it's lacking.
Informative, gets you to think.
Yeah.
Does not entertain.
Well, I wasn't unentertained. It was just not a play, you know.
Well, it was a play.
It
just didn't have much of a conflict to it.
Yeah.
And your conclusion?
Actors, 3.75. Play, 2.75.
You know what? I'll go with that.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, now let's see if I can pronounce this right twice in a play. This is a revival by Carol Churchill. Light Shining in Buckinghamshire. Sheer.
Yes.
Sheer.
You've got the Hobbit on the brain.
And this, I do. Well, let's see. What does this have in common with the Hobbit plays? Well, it takes place, years ago in England.
Be careful.
Big war. Really, really long. There is a short guy in the play who's about the same size as a hobbit. Let's see. Oh, but wait. It is so boring. This is this takes place in the 1600s during the British Revolution. And fortunately, they tell you what happens here because you're really not going to be able to figure it out. They're rebelling against someone's here, someone's there. People are getting killed. People are not happy. People aren't much happier at the end of the play, I don't think.
It's the poor people trying to rise up against the wealthy.
Yeah.
And it brings up an interesting thing. It had to do with the diggers and the levelers. I mean, this is stuff I learned in another place, and they bring it up here.
And but you won't learn it here.
Well, the diggers were the early socialists, and the levelers were the ones who wanted to, Anyway, so
I wanted to dig my way out of
there.
Well,
and my friend who was British and came with me said I learned all of this in school long before my O levels. He said, and he went home. And I couldn't say don't go. I just couldn't. I didn't have the heart to say don't go. I did stay.
Yes.
And it was too long. It was 2 hours and God knows 45 minutes or something.
Something like that.
And it wasn't well directed. It's directed by. It's down at New York Theater Workshop. It's still running. It may not be by the time this gets on. It's directed by Rachel Chafkin, whom I love. She did The Great Comet. She did Indecent. It's written by Carol Churchill. I don't understand what happened. You'll see the photographs. They don't do justice to the production. The production doesn't do justice to the production. There are light shafts coming in and out. The play was originally done as a joint collaborative kind of thing. The way Chorus Line was done here, this was done in England. Not the same to the same ends, of course. But to the English, this is a very interesting subject,
The subject, I'm sure, when told in the right context, is interesting. But this is the worst thing I've seen all season.
I hate to agree with you, but you're right. And it's not really the worst. It is a Carol Churchill play based on actual testimony from the time. Very judiciously put together by the Joint Stock Company. I did see was it Mark Wynne Davies? I think it was Mark Wynne. No, whoever the man, that's the wrong director. But anyway, whoever it was who actually worked on it originally also directed it. And that may have had a lot to do with the way it came about. And the people who were in it are the people who actually put it together. Well, maybe not. Maybe it was an American cast.
But
it was 1991.
Even so, I've seen a Chorus Line outlived its original director.
Sure.
Numerous cast changes, etc. This, I don't even see what.
Why?
I know. Why?
I know.
What possessed them?
It's like, and they sit there and they read. It's like reading text. Occasionally, someone comes to the front of the stage and actually speaks, but mostly they're reading stuff.
And not very interesting text.
No.
At that. So
well, what would you give it? After killing it.
One.
Okay. Do you have to give it anything at all?
No. Not really.
I'll give it one because it's mean not to give it anything.
Okay.
And because I love Rachel Chafkin. Okay.
After what they put you through?
We have a couple of minutes left, and we could finish.
We do.
When we did our Tony list, we didn't finish the categories that we were talking about.
Well, let's
so we
talk
could go
about
into
it.
Best leading. We did that. Leading actress in a musical. We were coming.
Best leading actor. We didn't.
We did. We finished with that.
We did not.
We both gave it to.
Did we?
I was pretty sure we did. Okay, if we didn't, let's do it then.
Well, I think. No,
you're right. We didn't.
If we did this before, just fast forward.
We didn't do it. Oh, you're right. We didn't.
So this is best leading actor in a musical.
Right.
Harry Haddon Payton.
Good boy. Yes, Joshua Henry.
My Fair Lady, by the way. Joshua Henry.
For Carousel.
Ethan Slater, SpongeBob.
He is SpongeBob, and Tony Shalhoub for The Man's Visit.
All right.
But he doesn't sing.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I don't think.
No, it's not because they nominated Diana Rigg. Come on.
Well, that's yes for My Fair Lady.
That's
Mrs.
right.
Higgins, and she doesn't sing.
Right.
So I don't think she's going to win it either.
Okay.
But his best number is one that the leading lady is singing. Katrina Lenk. He's conducting it basically, and I think, and this is interesting.
But it's a lovely
because
performance
I think
by him. It's so lovely.
It is.
And it's in a musical, so I guess that's why they did it.
He, along with Katrina Lenk, were to me the best parts of the musical, which I'm in the minority. I didn't like it, but I think this is the musical that's going to.
The Drama Desk also
will sweep the Tony Awards.
Oh, I hope you're right. From your mouth to God's ears. The Drama Desk went for My Fair Lady, Harry Haddon Payton, Joshua Henry, and also Ethan Slater.
I think
Tony Shalhoub was not.
My favorite would be Harry Haddon Payton.
I agree with you.
I would not be surprised to see Ethan Slater.
I will say that I thought Joshua Henry's voice was sublime. I didn't think the production did him any favors.
No.
But his voice was lovely.
Oh, he's got
this is an album I would buy for him and for Renee Fleming.
Maybe.
And
maybe.
a
And
couple
also
of
for
others.
Jessie Muller. I liked her.
Okay.
All right.
actress in a musical.
Yes, Best Actress, Lauren Ambrose, My Fair Lady.
Which we just talked about, My
Haley
Fair Lady.
Kilgore, once on this. Well, we talked about him too.
Right.
LaShawne's Summer. Katrina Lenk, The Band's Visit. We got a
And
lot
Taylor
here.
Louderman, The Mean Girls, and Jessie Muller in Carousel.
Right.
Now, because they can nominate as many up to 6, they don't have
Right.
to nominate 6, and they've been very good about not doing that.
Yes.
Now, this is interesting. Taylor Louderman was my favorite character in Mean Girls. That voice would cut glass. The drama desk also went for LaShawne's in the Donna Summer musical, and it went for Jessie Muller in Carousel. I thought Jessie Muller was adequate. Nothing special. Katrina Lenk is going to get my vote. I have loved that woman's face since Indecent. Her manners and manifestation in this play were just
I think she is the
unbelievable.
best thing about the play. And I suspect she will win. My vote would be Lauren Ambrose.
Yep.
You know, for two
She'd be
reasons.
my
Number
second
one, she's amazing. She's wonderful.
Yes.
Number two, Eliza Doolittle is one of the hardest roles to play in the New York theater, and no actress, not even Julie Andrews, she lost to Judy Holliday in
right.
Bells Are Ringing,
Right.
has ever been awarded a Tony for that role,
All right.
and I think it's time to change that.
Okay. Well, that's a very good reason to say that.
Aside from really excellent
No, but she really was
performance.
excellent. I agree with you. It's just I want to see Katrina Lenk win so badly.
And I am very surprised she was not nominated for a drama desk.
Yeah, well, I think she's not a popular choice, but I liked her. I liked her very much. We have Best Featured Actor
with me,
in a
Lauren.
play.
Best featured actor.
We don't really have.
We do.
We have enough
All
time
right,
for
you know
one more
what?
page.
Really quick.
Okay, really quick.
Best featured actor. Who is it? Is it
Anthony Boyle, who played Scorpius in Harry Potter.
Right, Michael
Sarah
Cera, Lobby
from-
Hero, Brian Tree Henry, Lobby Hero, Nathan Lane, Angels in America, David Morse, Iceman, Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane.
All right.
Okay.
Best featured actress, because we're running out of time.
Okay.
Susan Brown, Angels.
Norma Zumgani.
Yes.
I'm sure I'm wrong on that. Who
Hermione,
played Hermione?
Hermione. Denise Gow, Angels.
Denise Gough.
Gough, excuse me. Three Tall Women. I'm going with my photo bomber, Denise.
No. Denise Gough is Angels in America,
Yes.
and Laurie Metcalf is Three
Yes,
Tall
Three Tall
Women.
Women. Oh, did I-
you say that? I didn't hear.
I thought I did. All
properly.
right.
Okay.
Well, Denise is the angel. Laurie is the tall
I'll
woman.
I'll go
going
with that.
the
Yeah,
angel.
I'm agreeing with you here. Okay.
And that is our show for tonight. When you go to the theater, look for Leslie and me, us too.
Sleeping on the aisle. No, we don't do that. We don't
Well, I wanted to. I didn't.
sleep. No.
I wanted to.
Okay. No, you don't have to. You don't have to stomp on it. You know. Don't Jesse.
I
Green.
like stomp much better.
Don't Jesse Green that. I mean, I'm going to tell Jesse that that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a verb out of his name. Okay.
All righty.
It talks. On the aisle.